Hey everybody, it's X's Master X. Welcome to another episode of Pokemon LeafGreen. In the last episode, I got to the end of Mount Moon. In this episode, I think first I'm going to take on the Cerulean Gym Leader. I already did a spot of grinding off screen, but before we head into the gym, there's a couple things I want to show that you can get right now. We'll be coming back here for some other stuff later. I concoct a variety of medicine from berry powder. Using good berry powder, I can make any kind of medicine. Now tell me, have you any interest in berries? Sure. Ah, good. For you then, I have just the thing. Obtain the powder jar. There's something new on the second floor of Pokemon Center, at the direct corner. I installed a wireless adapter machine for collecting berries. This is where you come in. I have a favor to ask, one that I can trust only to you. Could you make berry powder for me using that old machine? Don't worry, the machine is at the direct corner of Pokemon Center. I'll concoct medicine for you if you bring me some berry powder. Okay, we get it. No, it's the same thing like 3 times. Anyways, what? Okay, that was kind of weird. Anyway, no, stop, no. Okay, yeah, that happened. Okay, I rebooted the ROM and now I made it the second thing. That guy will just kind of give you descriptions of every badge you get. I'm not gonna talk to him right now, but if I ever like forget or something, I can go back to him. Just kind of knows a reference. And in that guy's garden there's a rare candy. Now I think we're ready to take on the gym. Yeah, the guy's thing about the berry powder, I've actually never used that. Mainly because I never really like screwed with the multiplayer wireless adapters other than for trading. What am I doing? I'm going the wrong way. So I really don't know much about that. Alright, anyways, here's the gym. During the leader, I'm probably going to be using pretty much exclusively Pikachu and Ivysaur, since they both have type advantages. With Pikachu being the front runner and Ivysaur as the last line of defense. Because Ivysaur both is strong against their Pokemon and it resists water type moves, which the gym leader has a pretty strong one for this point in the game, and a very strong water type for any point in the game. So it'll be a good thing to have. Plus I can put it to sleep, so I often have great frustrations against this gym leader. Then again, maybe just because I now insist on fighting her before I fight the rival. Because I didn't used to do that. You know, I was thinking before I started the video, this is one of the more grind-heavy Pokemon games. Like, you have to do a fair amount throughout the game. Like, there's one point where you don't really have to grind at all because there's like so many trainers you can battle. But the early game and like the very last leg of the game, you have to do some serious grinding. In most Pokemon games, you have to do a little bit. With the exception of like maybe Gold and Silver and X and Y, you don't really have to do any grinding. In Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire, you typically don't have to do any grinding, but I sometimes, if I'm like raising a weird team or something, I don't know. Alright, let's get started. Hi, you're a new face. Only those trainers who have a policy about Pokemon can turn pro. What is your approach when you catch and train Pokemon? My policy is an all-out offensive with water-type Pokemon. Okay, thank you. And we have gym leader number 2, Misty. I think I somehow failed to mention this when fighting Brock, but both Misty and Brock are, or were, prominent characters in the Pokemon anime. Although in this game, you really just fight them and never do anything again. yeah, you just Harden's definitely gonna help you against a special attacker. Alright, so there goes the easy part of the fight. Now comes the hard part. She has a level 21 Starmie, and Starmie is a really good Pokemon. It has really good stats. In fact, this is probably going to do a lot of damage. Jeez, you see what I mean? This thing is brutal. I was kind of hoping that would paralyze it. Yeah, this thing's probably going to take me down, so let me see if I can inflict the last lick of damage against it before Ivysaur comes out. This thing is the one that gives me trouble, because this thing is considered, for like the first 5 generations, a top tier Pokemon in like a meta game. And here we are fighting it during the 2nd gym. I don't think there's anything else like this in like the rest of the game. Well, other than the level 16 Raticate Milk move, which isn't in this game. But it looks like I'm gonna get off of here alright with the help. Okay, I spoke too soon. If Misty's gonna be doing that, I better Leech Seed this thing. Leech Seed is very, very helpful in drawn out battles. I swear that only happens when I'm recording. Like, I had a speech impediment when I was a kid. I kind of had to take these classes to work it out. And now I can mostly speak fine, but when I'm recording, I sometimes have trouble with it. And like in a few other situations, like when I'm really riled up about something, probably Smash Bros or something, I don't know. And there you have it. I think that's the end of Misty. Misty! Alright, you can have the Cascade Bash to show you beat me. The Cascade Badge makes all Pokemon up to level 30 obey. That includes even outsiders you got in trades. There's more. You can now use Cut anytime, even out of battle. You can cut down small trees to open new pathways. You can also have my favorite TM. TM03 teaches Waterfall. Used on an aquatic Pokemon. Alright, what she said about all Pokemon level 30 will obey. She means, like, if you... This will never be demonstrated in this Let's Play, probably. But if you trade in another Pokemon from a different game onto this one, that Pokemon probably won't obey you. But any Pokemon you catch always will. And they won't obey you until they come to like you as a trainer more. In Gym Badges basically ensure Pokemon of a certain level will. I have a kind of funny story about this mechanic, actually. When I was playing through... I don't remember which game it was. It's one of the 4th gen games. I think it was Platinum or something. I was having trouble with Gardenia, which pretty much everyone does, because that game is kind of ridiculous that way. If you don't get Ponytail, well, I guess Starly can look through it. But the point is, I was having trouble with Gardenia, so I tried sending in like a Ho-Oh. That was like a level 30 Ho-Oh from a different game, which is kind of cheap. But that's what I did. And here's the rival fight. Hopefully this will happen. Okay, I'm gonna leave with Pikachu again. You'll see why in a second. Anyways, it sent in the level 30 Ho-Oh, and that thing was pretty much invincible and could tear apart Gardenia's gym because it was 4 times weak to every Pokemon, over leveled, and it could like one-hit kill pretty much everything. So I was having extreme trouble getting through that gym, just because Ho-Oh would not listen to a single thing I say. Like maybe 1 out of 10 times it would actually listen to me. So I was hoping that once I beat the badge, since it was level 30, it would obey me. But against Gardenia's last Pokemon, it leveled up to level 31, so it still didn't obey me. Man, that was rough. Nowadays I kind of have a I have a policy against doing stuff like that. Yeah, just trading in a stronger Pokemon from a different game to get me through. But that's one of the problems I have with 4th gen. More so Diamond and Pearls than Platinum. Was it Abra? Yeah. Is that there's a pretty limited selection of Pokemon. And the only fire type in the whole game is, if you don't choose Chimchar as your starter, is Ponyta. And Ponyta's okay. I think I actually used it in that Platinum run. Or was it in my Pearl one? No, it was Platinum. I remember using it in the Battle Frontier, that's right. That's the only time I've ever used Ponyta, I believe. It had a pretty exotic moveset. But I'm getting off topic. I guess it doesn't matter if he takes down Charmander. Mankey is stronger, I guess. This Charmander should have evolved into Charmeleon, but I'm kinda grateful it didn't. Because that would make it harder, obviously. Typically, if you don't do any grinding, this fight or Misty can both be kind of problematic. Which is why you kind of have a choice of who you fight first. You don't even really technically have to fight Misty right now, I don't think. Well, yeah, you kind of do. You have to fight her to use Cut. I'm not gonna listen to this guy. You have to use Cut to get out of the city, I think. So yeah, you kind of do you? No, you don't even have Cut yet, so it doesn't matter. So you need to beat her like before going to Rock Tunnel, and that's about it. That's one of the things about this game that makes it separate from pretty much every other game in the franchise, is that you can pretty much fight the gym leaders in whatever order you want, barring Brock is the first and Giovanni is... Oops, I spoiled it. That's okay, I'll edit it out. And the 8th gym leader is the last. And there's a few other... things along the way, like you have to fight the 5th gym leader before the 7th. But yeah, and the second one before the 4th or any one after. But I'm gonna go ahead and fight them in a logical order, just cause why not? Now this is called the Nugget Bridge. You have to fight a lot of trainers. Have fun. Beat as 5 trainers and win a fabulous prize. Think you got what it takes? I think I do. I should probably send in Spiro for this. It's the experience anyway. Now once we get past the Nugget Bridge, there's a few more Pokemon in this route that I'm pretty interested in. Well, I think there's like only 2, and one of them I'm pretty interested in. Not really so much I'm interested in using it, but it'll be useful for later. But I'll cross that bridge when we get there. Another thing Misty said was use the Water Pulse TM for aquatic Pokemon. However, in the original game, she gave you the TM for Bubble Beam, because yeah, that was a TM in 1st gen. And actually, I think the most useful thing you could do was teach it to like Persian or something that doesn't normally get water type moves. Because water type Pokemon will always get like much stronger moves like Surf later in the game. So it's actually good to teach it to Water Pulse to other Pokemon for coverage. Although it's not that strong of a move, so it's really only useful for beginning of the game anyway. Okay, here. Let me reorder my team real quick. I'm second, now it's serious. I'm pretty sure that's exactly what every trainer is going to say. Well, it's serious business now. All those other guys are just weaklings, but I'm the strongest. And yeah, I have a hard time taking you seriously when that happens. Okay, going off topic for a bit. I haven't really followed up on my project of, promise of making more Tour Q videos recently. My plan was to have it on a monthly schedule, but January's come and gone, there hasn't been one. And I'm really sorry for this, I feel bad. Because I do want to continue to Let's Play, like I'm not dropping it. But I just haven't, every time I've had time to work on it, I forgot about it. And every time I, have wanted to work on it, I've had to do something else. So yeah, it's kind of a vicious cycle. Hopefully I can get all my homework done today so I can work on it. Because I do want to have one of this month. Because that's I think most of my subscribers that are subscribed for that, or if they subscribe for Hot Wheels World Race back when that was going on. And my Spears Learning Pursuit, which is a special type move which runs off of Spearo's much lesser special attack stat, but I'll go ahead and teach it anyway because it'll work for early game. Anyways, I was saying something. Oh yeah. So yeah, hopefully Tour Q will be continuing. It's just I just have a bit of a block on it right now. And I hope to have one out this month. Possibly even this week if I can. But then again, I'm not sure when I'll be ready. That's the problem. However, I can confirm that if you guys remember, I did do a 2-player gadget racer series of videos where I showed all the multiplayer stages. However, I couldn't show anything past the 2-player stages because I didn't have a multi-tap. Well, I have one now, so next time we have a recording session, we're going to record the 4-player gadget racers, so that series will be continuing. And I think that's pretty cool. Because that'll be a new experience for me too. I don't even know what stages are on there. I might check it ahead of time. I'm probably gonna keep... Yeah, it has the same accuracy as Mega Kick and less Tower. It does have more PP, but whatever. It's not worth it. And... okay, Mankey isn't the best Pokemon to fight it with, so I'll just keep in Pikachu. Mainly because Ekans has the ability to Intimidate, so it's better to fight it with special attackers. And yeah, I didn't really mean that. I'm just gonna attack with Mega Kick anyway. Okay, wow. That... okay. And Mega Kick is a really powerful move, especially for this point in the game. So, I guess it doesn't really surprise me. Okay, one thing notable about Misty, the gym leader we just fought, is that she's kind of the center point of this, I think still ongoing war in the fandom of the Pokemon anime, and that is, shipping. You know, shipping will cause divides in, any fandom, and hooray, I missed. But Misty is pretty much outright stated to have a crush on Ash in the anime, and whether Ash returns, his feelings is a little bit ambiguous. And yeah, at one point she had to permanently leave the show, and in her place, there have been alternating female characters. And it kind of started this trend where whenever May was introduced, hopefully I'm not forgetting anyone, whenever May was introduced, everyone hated her because she was a replacement for Misty, and they like Misty better. And then May left and Dawn was introduced, and everyone hated her because she was a replacement for May. You see where I'm going with this? And then May left and Iris was introduced, and everyone hated her for replacing Dawn. And then Iris left and Serena was introduced, and everyone hates her for replacing Iris. So yeah, it's kind of I kind of think that's kind of funny, to be honest. I don't really follow the anime, although I've been trying to like watch it whenever I can. This morning I failed to wake up on time to watch a new episode, so that sucks. I'm gonna try to start watching them. And I know that they have like most of the series on Netflix, but I don't have Netflix, so yeah. How many have I fought? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, 5. I accidentally sped up. Didn't mean to do that. I'll issue an apology in the mail. I sometimes just do that instinctively, like, I get it confused with the run button. This guy has nothing but a Mankey, which is weaker than mine. So you get a fist to the face. Well, I guess that's what every fighting type move is. If it, other than like scratches and stuff. Whoa, too much. And now finally, we're at the end of the Nugget Bridge. What's this guy doing here? Congratulations, you just beat our 5 contest trainers. You earn a fabulous prize. We received the Nugget. That's why they call it the Nugget Bridge. By the way, how would you like to join Team Rocket? Or a group of professional criminals specializing in Pokemon? Want to join? You sure? Come on, join us. I'm telling you to join. Okay, you need convincing. I'll make you an offer you can't refuse. And yeah, it was actually Team Rocket. I actually have a funny story. One time, when I was playing through this game, I was still like an inexperienced player, so I played really badly and I ran completely out of money at this point. So what I did was, I actually fought this guy, purposely lost to him, and then talked to him again, and he gave me another nugget, so I could sell that for greater profits. I would not recommend doing this unless you are like completely out of money, because remember, you have to surrender a lot of money to him when you lose anyway. So yeah, it's kind of pointless. But yeah, I still have that lovely memory. His nuggets can be sold for a lot of money. I don't know if I've ever mentioned this, I hope I have. And okay, a habit I have is I always finish off Pokemon with a move that isn't the strongest move I could use on them to reserve, both to reserve PvP and for humiliation purposes. I just always done that. It's too ingrained in me for me to ever give it up. Plus, Mega Punch has a good chance of missing. That's another thing. It's really more of a practical thing. Yeah, this guy, yeah, you can just go. Anyways, next time on Pokemon LeafGreen, we'll be continuing into that route up yonder. Then once we go from routes 1, 2, to 3, to 4, and then we go to route like 24 or something. I think it's 24. It's either like, I don't know, it's 20 something. Anyways, see you guys then.